Now we check the quantity of the times on the 8 to 8 system. The 8 times 8 is equal to 64 minus 4 is equal to 60. 60 is the quantity on the clock. We have extra 4 for the age work page. When you keep the 8-minute fast with the 8 part of the earth on the outlook frame, one part of the 2 from the 4 and running on the earth as the fact and the other on running fiction part with the moon as the subconscious from the page 4, our page 4. Then it is the fact that graph says pentagon at there on the sun. Pentagon have the in case of the space work, pentagon have the 8 triangular at there. In case of the 8 part of the triangular of the times, that will travel to the earth from the sun. That is the 8 part. In case of the 8 part, fast journey time depended to the the fast on the basis on the part basis on the speed on the traveling journey times. In case of the part of 8, they will they can travel 8 minutes fast to the earth for the part of 8 part in the earth nowadays. On the clock level, the 4 is the understood wage from our work, that is the fact and the earth. The 8-minute fast, the grand points of the times, we have 4 grand points of the times here have around the sun and after around the sun, and it is the grand points 1 2 1 2 3 4 is the grand point as the A4 paper. When we read the A4 paper within those time we getting the instinct page in case of the cubic work. The instinct is the pentagonian page. That is the 8 part 1 2 3 4. Another 1 2 3 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. If they have a point on the superconscious system, we have getting the 1 extra point on the 9th system. But we getting the wage work of the 9 from the 8 factory. 8 factory, if they have a factory, must our product not become wage. The product is the 8, our wage is the 9 if the 8-year-old system running on here. Okay. So the 8 part on the sun that will travel to the earth to the 8-minute fast to the 8 part 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 8 part 8 plus 8 8 times 8 is equal to 64. But the 64 not we will use the 64. The 60 we will use on the clock and the extra 4 on our hand as our grand. The grand 4 is the grand 4 from the past is the our father's father, our father's mother, our mother's father, our mother's mother is the 4 grand with we and our extra ahead grands here for well enlightened system on the holy TAZISM system as the caste from any religion we will apply apply the caste to the any religion. I cite some religion for apply the caste system here. You can, if you come with me, must we can get to make a caste on the inflection of the times with all to the religious way. That is our I dreams. If you come, must we can apply the caste system to any religious frame to here. The how run the fact with the fiction. How the fact with the fiction. The graph, I get to show a graph here. The graph indeed, the sense line as the addition quantity to plus Greenwich and equator lines as the subline named as the times or into scale plus scale. Okay. They will share the fact and fiction appropriate sense work between. If we are the earth, must the additional quantity to plus symbol running important matters running to the reticle level of the Greenwich linear. Then it will we will calculate to the equator line as the equator horizontal line. Quantitative plus symbol and the plus symbol dividing vertical and horizontal in four parts: north, east, west, south, known as the nose. How running the nose? That nose arriving from the subconscious part, as if we conscious we will see the subline running as the conscious. If we conscious, we will see the subconscious as the running the time scale. But the plus and into or plus and times already running by the scale of the superconscious as the superconscious vision as the plus times as the 8 of views by the center of the ninth here. So some persons have subconscious throughout in the subconscious from the times line. Some persons running subconscious line on the additional plus lines as equator and Greenwich, as the way is the northeast to the southwest, then the southwest to the southeast as the time scale. It is the fact with the fiction. If you are the fiction person, must the fiction will run on the Greenwich linear to in Greenwich linear and the equator linear. If you are fiction, if you are fact person, must it Greenwich linear not will to run the equator line and horizontal line and equator line. That ever line running depended to the times factors, the into scales here, both than the conscious earth and both than the subconscious moon as ways to the through to the sun. Okay, that is the it fiction work with the fact on the superconscious line, superconscious into the subconscious and superconscious. We will understood the subconscious lines and superconscious conscious line by the superconscious level by the indeed by the sun. Okay. Then we got the study about the more about the 8. The 8 is not 16 on the earth without a moon. The 8 is not 16 on the earth without a moon. Okay. Because the elliptical curve shape of the earth use the 8 part of the sunlight to the 8 point of the planet earth. So the 8 is not increased to the 16, but it increase also with the moon evident to the full moon system. Okay. The 8 part traveling to the earth in 8 minutes fast, said before us, 8 minutes fast from the sun to the earth part, the earth. The part of the two side of the suns, they have 8 point. The 8 point they have, I indeed that graph, I get indeed the graph, one part of the earth or moon as well as the 8 parts use the light. That light nota bene, we use the time with the planet and subplanet as the same conscious mind and subconscious. As way is the eighth, if the eighth part have the planet Earth, must have the eighth part have the moon. As the ways, the all of the elliptical or the circular planets become eighth part on the sense, as the ways the Earth. The moons have northeast, southwest, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest as the eighth part, likely the earth. Okay, as ways the brightness have eight parts on the pentagon upon the earth through to the moon. That is the interior graph. It is the interior graph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 part at there in the middle of the sun. When it will work with all those time it running on the circular mode. Here is circular mode. Here is the mere one part of the elliptical curve shape of the earth or moon here. Okay, on the bright scale. Okay, then that is, I said the 8 is not the 16 on the earth without the moon. With the moon, that will run on the 16 in the product work with the earth and moon. If not the earth partition to the circuit, we cannot cite the axis on the circulation of the moons under the earth on the 16 days. The 16 days work with the moon and the earth. If only the earth they have not the 16 days, only 8 days at there on the work age. If you understood, must you can come with me. Okay, you are not to become mad. I get you to inject the mat to in front of you. Okay, if we will to keep, it is not the injection of the otherwise as the addiction center. It is the addict of the knowledge. It is the addict of the knowledge. Okay. if we will to keep the 8 world system, and we are to ensure by the times of the sun as the 5 plus 5 is equal to 10 scale on the 2 part of the sun. 2 part of the 5 plus 5 is equal to 2 part of the sun. 2 part of the sun, I get to show that the 2 part. The part 1 of the sun, part 2 of the x, part 1 of the time, part 1 of the sun and part 2 of the times. The x or the times uses a line scale of times of the sun, and each planets with the mathematical symbol as the enlarges and appropriate reduced scale within, and the enlarged scale without the circulation of the pentagon. Okay, you can study. If you are not accepting me as the 8 teacher of the 8, must you can study from the mere spider. The spider spiding, therefore the producting as on the anger. They will using the 8 spiders, the 8 scale of spiders at around the spiding, around for the predicting as the spiding on the way. But they cannot sit in the any 8 part of the spider. They will save their entire spiding, and they will cancel from the 8 to the 9th by the 5. 9th point by the 5. That 5 is the pentagon on the reduced scale within the middle of the spiding as the most teacher from the nature. If you cite anything on you, you can must cite you can must cite the spiding method of the spiders here. They will saving, they will save, they will save their seat between the middle of the octagon, as to the octagon reducing to the pentagon. At the pentagon there have a pentagon, there is not the 8 leg on the spiders. Spiders have ever time, if you check the spiders clearly, must you can cite 10th legs on the 10th leg, 10 leg on the body of the spider. Okay, that is the teacher. Our teacher, first teacher of the 8 is the spider. Okay, so if they have the octagon, must the octagon reduced it to the pentagon, and the octagon enlarged by to the enlarged end to the octagon end to the enlarged pentagon, and the octagon reduced the pentagon. That is the link ride between the, that is the link ride between the 5 with the 8 with the 5 as the sun to the earth to the sun. Actually, when we put the 5, those times we getting the 10 point. Actually, the in the conscious level, we will say the pentagon have the sun, but they have no, there is not pentagon on the conscious and the super conscious and the subconscious. With the subconscious, they have 8 point at 10 point at there, with the hide by the 8 triangulars on the geometrical procession at there. If they have the 8, must here have the 8. So we will rearrange our calendar. We can rearrange our calendar to the 8 world system as the 35 filling days and 5 unfilled days on the 40 columns of the calendar. I get to show how traveling, how we can clear a calendar on the vertical mode. The 8 column with your alive age from the earth basis on the basis on the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the Earth Day. The 8 columns have here on the horizontal line. In the vertically, they have 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. 8th columns here on the equator lineary or horizontal lineary. In the 8th columns have 8th columns have the vertical lineary, and 5 columns have the horizontal line. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When it square, we will try it square to circulation. Those time we getting the 8 columns upon the earth as the point. Point not the within the middle of any days. Point is the 4 plus 4. The 4 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. They have a border lineary without broke any days center. Okay, as ways, that is the 0 degree. If the 0 degree it is, it will to become around, and it getting the 90 degree circulation around the 90 degree circulation with the 8 columns here. Then after, how traveling the horizontal line, horizontal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 horizontal line, how travel that the horizon from the horizontal line traveling from the horizon